Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to another Slugger video, and welcome to Season 5 of Fortnite, baby. This video is going to be me going over my interpretation of the meta this season. If you aren't familiar with the term meta, it refers to the best and the most OP guns and strategies in a certain game. So for this video, I'm going to be going over what I think are the best guns and the best strategies, as well as the best spots to land in this season. This season, I think that there's a certain part of the map that is so ridiculously OP that I think I've played 6 games today and I've won 4 of them just by landing the spot. So before I start the video, if you enjoy it, please consider hitting the subscribe button. It's completely free and you can always change your mind later. I'm daily uploading until Christmas with tips and tricks videos just like this one to make sure that you become the best player that you could possibly be. It's the least I can do for you guys. So without further ado, let's get into the video, boys. Let's go. Alright, so let's get into what I think is the meta this season. So, first off, I'm going to be explaining charge versus tack. So it's definitely the biggest gun dispute we're going to have this season. It's going to be the biggest kind of argument we're going to have between guns that are very commonly used. And so I'm going to give you my input. This season, I think tacks are 100% better. If you're a W here, like me, you're probably going to want to take a tack. Just because if you get into a guy's box that has a charge, he has 1 shot. And that shot can't 200 pump unless he has a gold. And those are very hard to find. I haven't seen one, had one, this entire day. They're extremely hard to find, which means that 1 pumping is pretty much not in the game right now. And with that, that means that you're going to need small but consistent damage. You need a lot of DPS this season. And tack is the best DPS shotgun we've ever seen, right? The gray, the green, and the blue tacks are going to be the most common shotguns you're going to find. They do, I believe, from 75 to 82 damage. It's around there for body shots. And that's very good. The charge, obviously, you know, it could hit for the big 160s, 180s, right? But that's when it's a fully charged headshot, and that's completely awkward. You're going to have to pressure cook your shotgun for freaking 3 seconds. It's not exactly the most optimal gun to be using. If you're using a tack, you can get off 3, 4 nice shots before the opponent with the charge even switches their secondary. So, now I'm going to be telling you why the desert, I think, is going to be the most interesting, but also the most OP spot to land this whole season. There are 2 things in the desert that make it a lot different from everything else. That's how you can turn it to sand, and the crystals. So, turning it to sand first. All you gotta do is just stand still for 3 seconds. I recommend crouch spamming while you do it so you don't get headshots times. That happened to me once today. I don't want that to happen to you. So, what you do, right? You go into the sand, and you can move extremely fast. It only takes like 2 seconds to accelerate, and you're going. This makes for great rotations, and it makes for great surprise attacks. I'm sure you've seen a lot of them so far this video. I'm sure there's going to be a lot more coming. You can get off so many good tack shots, 3 to 4, before the opponent even knows what they're doing. It's insane. You have people dead before they even see you. The crystals are OP as well. The crystals, they allow you to kind of dash at your opponent at like a rapid speed. Almost instantly, you can just click double jump, and you're pretty much right in their face. You can go 10, probably maybe even 15 meters at a time, and you could do it as many times as you want within like the 10 seconds that the crystals last for. It's so good for rotation, it's so good for getting to people very quickly, and it's just overall, it's a great item. Finally, I'm going to be explaining what I think the best loadout to run is. So, personally, I think that the best loadout to run, it always includes attack. So, say attack in your first slot. I think that the next thing to run, this might be controversial, I think it's the AK. But not just any AK. If you have a blue AK or a blue AR, I'd say take the blue AR every time. Green, gray, that goes for as well. But I'd actually rather have an epic or legendary AK as instead of a SCAR, and I'll tell you why. These AKs, they do about, I want to say 42 to 43 damage per shot, and that is such a valuable thing. It also does double headshot multiplier. So if you hit a double dink, if you hit 1 dink in general, that's almost all of your opponent's shields gone. Instantly. If you hit a double dink or a dink body shot, 120, 130 HP down. Instantly. That's why I think an AK is a very good thing to run. After that, I think it depends actually where you're playing. Where your drop spot is that determines your next 3 slots. I think if you're dropping anywhere but in the desert, I think it definitely pays off to have 2 matches and 1 mobility. However, if you're in the desert where mobility is so open to you, there's two great forms of it, and they come pretty much freely wherever you are in it. If you're in the desert, I'd definitely run just like 3 meds, 2 guns. Anywhere else, maybe like a shockwave, and 2 meds, 2 guns as well. But always include attack, and I'd actually pick up the gold or the purple AK if you ever see it. Finally, I'm going to be talking... Actually, no, not finally. This is actually finally. I said finally last time. This is really finally. I'm going to be talking about a little spot in the desert. You're probably seeing me land there most of my games right now. I'm pretty sure you're watching Endgame, but most of my games I'm landing this one spot. It kind of reminds me of the old Tifu and Cloak Town, the Westworld. It's 3 houses, 3 slurp barrels, 6 produce containers, 4 chests, and a boss that tells you where people are near you. It's so OP, it's so good, and I'd really recommend you landing there. I'm playing from the bottom up. It's kind of out of B-roll now, so hope you guys have an absolutely amazing day. Hopefully you take what I just taught you and you apply it. I'm making videos like this every single day. May God bless you, and see you in the next one. Bye-bye.